and welcome back to Leslie the Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Leslie. I'm so happy to have you here. For my returning viewers, as always, thank you so much for coming back and supporting my channel. Today we are back with another Mental Health Monday video. I hope everybody is doing well. I know I did not put out a regular video last week, but just due to the nature of the holiday, I decided to just go ahead and not make a video and just kind of remind everybody what that day was really about. But I do just want to touch on the fact that Memorial Day really was, it's all about the cookouts and the barbecues and stuff, but it really is a somber holiday. So I just didn't feel right putting out a video. But I wanted to let everybody know why I wasn't doing it either, because I know people do sometimes, look forward to that kind of stuff. So we are back this week with our regularly scheduled Mental Health Monday. So the last week or so, things have been pretty good. Just some, day-to-day life and challenges that, will trigger anxiety. So I'm just going to touch base on kind of what those were in the last couple of weekends. We've been super busy. It is summer, so, there's always lots of parties and pool days and stuff like that on the agenda. So last weekend we had a birthday party and it had a bounce house. So my anxiety was super duper triggered. Just in general, because Amelia is a pretty big kid for her age. She's like 97th percentile in her height. So I think sometimes I worry that some of the bigger kids think she's older than she is, and just like her not having a really good voice for herself yet really just made me super nervous. We also had recently a local story because there was a lawsuit against a local entity here where we live over a 2-year-old having a really tragic accident in a bounce house, and that was in courts and settled recently. So that had been fresh on my mind, of course, because what are the odds of that, right? So I was just really like, we got to the party, and of course, she's 2.5. The first thing she sees is that, and she goes, "Me go in there, me go in there." And I kind of had to get the situation under control. So luckily we had a friend there with his daughter who's a little bit older, so she kind of took her in, and I just made my husband, I was like, "Hey, this has to be you right now, like verge of tears, can hardly breathe, I have to walk away." And it took about 10 minutes to kind of like do my breathing, distract by talking to some of our other friends before I got off the edge of that panic attack. But I did. And then as the day went on, because that's all she wanted to do the whole day, of course, was be in there, then I was able to kind of come around. I was still very anxious the whole time and had that like nervous feeling, of course, because even when you're in control of your anxiety, it doesn't make it just go away. So it really helped, and as the day went on, you do develop some sort of level of comfort. But again, still anxious, still was worried about it. But she's a really tough kid, and she loves that kind of stuff and the physical challenges and that kind of thing. So she loved it. And I was able to like go over there, be around, have her show me what she was doing and that kind of thing. So I was proud of myself for that. And glad that my husband was willing to take the reins until I was able to get to an okay place, because that was probably the most like intense episode of anxiety I've had recently, as far as like a situation getting the best of me and having to like really get off of a near panic attack situation. So that was good. And unfortunately, like until you're in those situations, there's no real way to like quote unquote test your coping mechanisms and that kind of thing. And I've always been a firm believer of still trying to put myself in uncomfortable situations, force myself to kind of take those situations head on when I can, especially in an environment that's like moderately safe. Because it wasn't, it's not the bounce house that concerned me. It was just all of the other factors and the bigger kids who roughhouse and are a little bit more wild, because of course they're having fun too. So, it's just those kind of things where I don't have the control over keeping her safe. So it sends me into that really like fight or flight mode and really panicked. But she had a great time. By the end, I was able to, I don't know if I'd go as far to say enjoy it with her, but cheer her on and watch her do all the things she wanted to show me she could do in there and that kind of thing. So, and that's always been one of my biggest concerns and my biggest things I'm most conscientious about, is how I don't want my anxiety to impact and affect her as far as getting to do things that other kids get to do. I'm still protective, and I still think I have that, mom intuition of things I'm going to draw the hard line on that I don't feel are safe. But when it's stuff that I know is relatively okay, and I'm just uncomfortable, I'm trying not to let that impact her, because that's not fair, and I don't ever want that to be the reason she doesn't get to do something. So that was really like the biggest challenge we've had recently, as far as my anxiety with being a mom. Otherwise, like, that has really been, my anxiety has mostly been triggered elsewhere, like with the miscarriage and things like that. So that was like a good little test there. Like I said, I really failed miserably at the beginning, but I got it together, got through it, was able to enjoy the day and like cheer her on. So other than that, the rest of the week was pretty quiet. We just, our home life is a little different right now. My husband's working 6 days a week, so we're adapting and adjusting to her not having that day off with dad in the middle of the week, and switching sitter situations and that kind of thing, which of course is just like, I wouldn't say like creating a lot of anxiety, but it's just trying to get everything organized and to, find a good situation for her and that works best for everybody. We're lucky that our moms watch our child for us most of the time, but it's also then a big ask when we have to add extra time. So just figuring that out and who comfortably will step into those roles if we need extra help. And then this weekend, I also had kind of an anxious weekend, which is so weird, because again, it just goes to show that, your anxious thoughts and like way it gets triggered is so out of the blue sometimes. We had a concert this weekend that was like supposed to be a year and a half ago during COVID, and it of course got canceled. That first like fall of COVID, I think. I don't remember exactly when it was supposed to be anymore. It's been so long. They rescheduled it a couple times, and then finally this past weekend is what it was supposed to do. It was very local to us, like in the next town over, but it was a country concert that was like an all-day festival. And so my husband and I were going. My best friend and her husband came to watch Amelia. I didn't, I had no anxiety around that part of it at all. I think maybe because I know my husband, it's not like his favorite thing to do. He doesn't mind country music, but he's not necessarily like the biggest fan, and country concerts are like my big thing that I love. And just because I didn't know how it was going to be set up, I didn't know how the timing was going to work. The concert was really late for us, getting food, all these things. Like we just didn't go into it with a real big plan. It was kind of like last minute getting things to fall in place. And I just had so much anxiety. Like we went to dinner beforehand and I was so anxious and felt so sick. And I have no idea why. It was something I was super looking forward to. So, and we had a great time once we got there and like kind of got situated and got the lay of the land. Like I was fine again, but it's just so weird to me. And I hate that it just comes on so quick and that I have no like advanced warning. It's not like I was like worried about it all week or something. Like we're leaving and I'm like, oh, I'm so nervous. I feel like it's so weird. But I do also know now, so like those things used to happen all the time when I was younger and had like date nights with Mark or like other things. I would get that feeling to the point where like once in a while, like we were going to a dinner, like a hibachi grill place near us, and we were halfway there, and I made him turn around and come back home because I was so sick feeling. Now looking back on it, I 100% guarantee it was anxiety. But I just don't know why that would trigger it. Like, it's something I enjoy doing. It's not like I was dreading going or something like that. So the only kind of plus side is now that I've gone to therapy and like know to recognize what's happening, I can usually at least fight through that feeling until it starts to subside, even if I can't like fully control it in the moment. So it's just really strange. But yeah, I've definitely had those two big like triggering anxieties the last couple weekends, which is weird because like I said, I haven't really had a ton lately that would like trigger my anxiety, or things that I thought would, that really I was pretty comfortable in the situation. But those things really got the best of me. The bounce house, I am not surprised, because that is how my anxiety really like came to be an issue, was like keeping her safe. So having recently read that article and everything that was going on, I'm not surprised that I had anxiety with that and I was worried about that. But like, the concert made no sense to me. But either case, I was able to use my tools and work through it and really like not have it ruin the entire day. So I'm really proud of that, because I think had that been a year ago, it would have been a different story. I really think that I would have, shut down or refused to go, or not let her have the experience. So I'm really glad that, I have those tools in my back pocket that can help. But other than that, day to day has been going pretty good. The weather's been really, for the most part, great until today. It's all gloomy and rainy and hot and humid. But I took a couple days off of work with my long weekend, so I have like a little mini staycation at home. So we picked up an art project today to do some tie-dye if the weather doesn't cooperate for us the next couple days and stuff like that. So I'm really excited just to spend a little extra one-on-one time with her, get some extra projects done around the house. I want to like clear out my closet, go through some stuff, try to organize a little bit better. But yeah, all in all, day to day has been going pretty good. I kind of got back in the swing of putting some makeup on my face, which is really, as silly as it sounds, it just helps like give me a little bit of my routine, and B, it just makes me feel a little bit better and more like put together for the day and a better mindset. So I've been really getting back into that practice. It gives me a little boost of confidence, and that's been helping. I really, really want to start working out again. I've really been slacking on that area, and it's funny because I go through these phases where I'm really motivated and I'm really unmotivated, or I'll try to like motivate myself, but I just like the drive isn't there, even though I know I should be doing it. But I'm now to the point where I like really miss it. Like, I was talking about running with a friend the other day and like really miss getting out and doing that. So even though it is probably the worst time to start trying to do an outside running thing because it's going to be miserably hot, I really hope to get back in the swing of that in the next couple weeks. And my yoga. I've been doing yoga a little bit more than like anything else, but I still haven't stayed up on it as much as I would like to be. So I think I'm actually going to do that when I hop off here. But that is my plan. And then I'm also still, I haven't been doing great at it. I've had an on week, off week, on week, where I'm just trying to make some better food choices, eat a little bit healthier. I'm not trying to do anything drastic, but I just feel like I'm eating a lot more sweets again and doing that kind of thing, where I just want to, tone it down a little. I'm still going to enjoy my ice cream or my candy here and there, but I don't need to eat quite as much and work on portions. So I have all of that going, but I feel motivated. I feel pretty good. I'm ready to get back on track with everything. So that's always exciting for the summer, I think. And it's just easier in the summer when I can be outside more, run around in the yard with Amelia, all that good stuff. I hope everybody else has been feeling well, and just kind of going through their, their times. And like, COVID is to me weird right now because like I'm fully vaccinated, a lot of people are fully vaccinated, but I still wear a mask a lot when I go places just because I I'm not at that confidence level yet, but I'm trying to work on being a little less dependent on the mask, since that's the whole reason we're getting vaccinated. But I hope everybody is just navigating these kind of confusing times. What do you guys think? How are things going with you? Let's just do kind of like a check-in down below in the comments, how you're feeling and what's been going on with you. I'd love to hear how everybody's doing. If you haven't already, I would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel. If you hit the bell notification next to the subscriber button, it'll alert you every time I post new content. This week I have something a little different and fun I'm really excited to share with you. My friend Brian over at the Bri Rock 75, him and his husband Jackson started their own company, and it's all like wellness items and holistic stuff, and it's awesome. And they have a special box being put out for Father's Day, so I am going to be unboxing that for you on Saturday, and you'll want to tune in for that, because you might have a chance to take home one of the products out of the box. I'm going to be sharing the love with a couple items from this box. But yeah, so we have that coming up. A couple of Mickey Loop boxes are on order, so those will be coming up. And yeah, and then we'll of course always just have our Mental Health Monday videos. I don't have any current topics lined up. I'm just kind of going with the flow and whatever has been going on. But if you have any questions or anything you would like me to share or talk about, make sure you drop that down below in the comments as well, and I will try to work those into our Mental Health Mondays. All right, guys, I hope everybody has a fantastic week, and I will see you guys next time.